Hello and welcome to the Team Meta College Conference Spring Showdown. Orange corner as red. Oh my goodness, watching it as it
being like a void space for community building.
Now you can see these freshmen and sophomores that have not had that interaction at all. They're completely online because of COVID.
He said, "Go! Oh my gosh, Osaka!"
Welcome back to Age of Coronavirus College Edition. I'm your host, Chase Kurtz, and joining us today is Luke Kurtz. He is the Esports Director for St. Francis, and he's also been a runner-up for the Director of the Year for NACE in July of 2020. Kurtz not only has achieved a lot as an Esports Director, but also has an extensive background, ranking high in Halo 2, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Overwatch, and Rocket League. What are your ranks on those games?
So back in high school, I did have the opportunity to play competitively in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and Halo 2. We were in just an online clan. So in Halo 2, I was 49-50 in Team Slayer and Team Snipers. And then Call of Duty 4, I was 10th Prestige, which doesn't mean too much, but definitely a lot of hours in the game, playing some online organized tournaments. So that was definitely the peak of gaming for me. And now I try to add value where I can for the teams in the program.
Was that a good resume builder for getting in as Director of Esports?
It definitely helped being one of the only individuals on campus that was familiar with organized esports and competitive gaming. I was lucky enough to be kind of selected to helm the program here at St. Francis and really bring help with education on campus and the difference between just gaming and what esports really is.
Now, St. Francis is also the first Division I esports varsity program in the state of Pennsylvania. What do you think about that prestige?
It's fantastic to be one of the first campuses in this industry. It's going to be, it already is booming, but we're going to see even more and more growth here the next 2 to 3 years. It's going to be something that most college students expect to have as part of their college experience. Right now, a common reference that you'll hear from individuals in higher ed is that esports right now is at the stage of maturity that campus recreation was back in the 90s, where everyone was putting in new auxiliary gyms and extra football fields and soccer fields for students to do things like intramural sports and competitions through traditional athletics. And now you're just seeing those same types of strategies being implemented around esports.
Is it safe to say that there wasn't much of a stigma at St. Francis when it came to esports?
Definitely not. We were very lucky to be in a situation where this was fully supported by the administration. When a student came to me and asked about this opportunity, when I ran it up the chain, I was actually met already halfway down the ladder because administration was already researching this and already was in support of this. And so it was great to receive that type of backing. Because unfortunately, that's just not what you hear all the time because of that stigma around gaming. And so absolutely, the university is 100% invested in this, and we're really excited to help bring college and career opportunities through esports to our region and beyond.
Wonderful. Luke, tell us how you got into video gaming.
Absolutely. So I was a traditional athlete. Actually went to college for baseball, but if I wasn't in the batting cage, I was gaming with my friends. This was something that really brought us together, gave us a break from our sports, gave us a break from school. And that's the biggest thing that I share with guests and families and high school teachers, is that this esports is really about community and bringing people together. And because of the opposite of that stigma that we were talking about earlier, that's why you're seeing such success in this area. You're bringing together another demographic of individuals that haven't quite felt this level of support ever before. Esports was in fact something that was somewhat frowned upon growing up. And now that you're seeing this new level of support because of the ecosystem that's being created through esports. And so that ability to bring people together is what's really leading to the success of this industry right now.
Well, you brought up a good point, because I feel like when you kind of get rid of the stigma, people don't feel so alienated when they're playing it, and it probably boosts them up to achieve more. Is that correct?
Absolutely. When you're bringing these individuals together to play in an environment that's going to provide community, their level of success is much higher. Their success in the classroom is much higher, and their overall holistic development, spiritual, academic, player development, team development. All those things are just elevated to the next level when you bring that community into play to help support each other and also challenge each other.
Yeah, so your school is a Catholic school, so you're very much into bringing that spirituality into esports. And how do you do that?
Absolutely. So we have a program chaplain, Father Jason Mullihan. He is one of the friars here on campus, and he just really supports students from an individual perspective. We're not
Okay.
about shoving religion down any of or forcing religion or
Yeah.
anything like that onto our students. We just want to make sure they're supported as individuals, and then if part of that support as an individual when it comes to mental health and wellness is part of leads into spirituality, then our Father Jason's ready to help them field that conversation and help them explore that, and maybe they already are strong in their faith, and then he can help them continue advancing that faith if they would like to. And so it's not something that we start strictly with religion or spirituality. It's just much more of building that trust and that relationship with our students. And then if the relationship naturally grows into that conversation, we're fully prepared to handle that.
I'm very interested in cultivation of the individual self. How do you do that to bring it into a greater framework of teamwork?
Absolutely. So our program, we're focused on that holistic development of students. Like I was saying, academics, spiritualism, individual development, player development, and team development. We want to win as many conference championships as possible here through our program. But first and foremost, we see esports as a vehicle to bring great students into St. Francis and then also get great students across the graduation stage. And so having individuals providing a support system for these players, for our students, is how we take that next level of support and really provide some development to it. So as I mentioned, we have Father Jason from the spirituality end. Right now, we're in the process of bringing on a full-time staff member to help me run the player development and team development. So we're making a full investment into someone who's going to be strictly dedicated to that player experience. And then we also have 2 faculty advising mentors from our Shield School of Business and our chemistry department that are helping our students on the academic end. And they've done a fantastic job. Right now, our program GPA is a 3.3, and every year with our all-conference academic honorees, over 20% of that list is St. Francis players. And so that's something we're really proud about.
Is it the same kind of teamwork that you would find in athletics as well?
Absolutely. So when you ask a traditional athlete, what have you learned from playing your sport? They're going to tell you a lot of soft skills: teamwork, discipline, perseverance, communication. Those soft skills are very common with traditional sports, and you're going to hear an esports player refer to those same things by practicing their game, competing with their teams, and then on top of that, we're also teaching our players a lot of technical skills. And so, especially in today's world, doing everything, living in a virtual environment, scheduling meetings virtually, emails, things like that. That's all things that are required of our students to do in terms of scheduling practice times, scheduling matches with other teams. And so we're teaching them those technical skills that they're going to have when they enter a professional arena through esports. But going back to the soft skills, those developmental things are very natural within these games. These games require a lot of strategy, a lot of communication, a lot of reflection. It's a lot of it is about watching your own gameplay, or having someone watch your own game, having someone watch your gameplay, and talking about what to develop and what to do in certain situations, how we could have handled a situation much differently. We can also scout teams through esports, and so we can get ready for our weekly competitions. And so the players need to work together to come up with a strategy that's going to be that's going to place us in the best situation that we can against the opposing team. And so absolutely, those soft skills are certainly being developed here in the arena, just like traditional sports.
Now, you used to be playing baseball, and then you got an injury. I've kind of noticed that there's a pattern. I've talked to a lot of people on this show in the past that have kind of given me a similar backstory. It just seems really awesome that we now have a medium that when somebody develops a disability in a way that prevents them from doing more physical athletics, that now that they can transition somewhere else?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we were saying earlier, this is all about community. And esports, we often refer to as being everyone's sports. When it comes to
Mhm.
traditional sports, you can think of someone having a certain body type or a certain build, and you'd be like, oh, they'd be a great fit for this type of sport, XYZ sport. With esports, that's
Mhm.
not necessarily the case. Success can be found in any shape, size, gender, whatever you want, fit in,
Mhm.
any demographic type. Anyone can be successful in this arena, in the arena, and that's something that is really exciting. And that's also a great way to provide opportunities co-curricularly for students too. We do another thing I forgot to mention earlier is that we have a team trainer focusing on that health and wellness element as
Mhm.
well. He's in our Department of Physical Therapy, and often I'm talking to our PT program and our OT programs about modified controllers or modified setups for people with disabilities that are able to play the game. I just saw
Okay.
an awesome video the other day of a blind individual learning how to play Mortal Kombat, and he competes in world championships because he's able to learn the timing of the game based on
You're
sounds.
kidding me.
And no, it's so inspirational how these individuals that may have some setbacks, sure, but they're finding a way to even the playing field through esports. And so esports is absolutely everyone's sports, and providing that level of access to injured athletes or someone that might have a disability or might have been set back in some way, shape, or form. Esports being able to provide that level of opportunity, that access, and again, that community for them is just an amazing story. It's an amazing thing to think about, to be able to provide this type of access and community to those individuals.
You just left my jaw on the floor. I had never even heard of that. Oh
Yeah,
my
so imagine
gosh.
that time that it goes into that for that person, right? He's new character
Yeah.
comes out, and he's literally got to click every button how many times to learn the sounds and see how long it takes to approach the other person, and then the sounds are changing every time his character makes contact with the other character. So yeah, that type of again, perseverance and discipline, and someone that has that setback, that disability, being able to compete at that high of a level is just
Yeah.
an amazing story to be able to tell.
Well, that's next level pattern recognition if I've ever heard of one. Wow. Yeah, I got to see that clip. I send it to us.
Yeah, as soon as I'll dig it up and I'll send it to you. It was great.
Wow. That is unbelievable. What has been the most surprising thing that you've encountered in your relatively short term so far as the esports director?
I would definitely have to, for me, it's something that we're really proud about, but I guess it would be going back to being everyone sports, just the level of interest that we're receiving here at St. Francis,
Yeah.
from traditional high school students getting ready to graduate, into we've had middle school kids reach out to us and say, hey, like, can I be a part of the team now? And I'm like, no, we got to wait a few years and then we can talk about it. But then we also have adults looking to come back. They're looking to change career fields, or they're looking to enter
Wow.
the educational higher education for the first time, because of whatever's happening in the world right now. They have decided to reevaluate things, and we have adults reaching out to us. We have international students from Honduras, Mexico, Canada reaching out to us, and so definitely the scope of opportunity that's there, in terms of access and reaching a whole new demographic of students that might not have been interested in St. Francis before, has definitely
Yeah.
been the most surprising. I mean, that was one of our goals for this program, was to increase the range of St. Francis, the reach of St. Francis. But I definitely thought that it was going to take much longer than it already has. But I guess that's also the benefit of internet, the benefit of social media. Being a baseball player, I remember having to travel the country to get my name out there, right? But for
Mm.
esports, they can just upload to YouTube, go into Twitch, join a Discord server, and have that level of access. And so that was definitely a big surprise to me. It's something that we were hoping was going to happen, but it definitely happened much quicker than we expected.
A lot of the downtime that people experienced made them probably realize what they wanted to do and not waste their time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people were definitely looking for new leisure time, ways to stay connected with their friends. I mean, you saw a lot of like Zoom happy hours or Zoom or the phone games, and then people zooming in through their iPads while they're playing games with their friends on their phones. They were absolutely looking for another level, another way to connect with people, and that again just speaks to the fact that esports does have the ability to bring people together. And if you ask most individuals, they would say they don't play the games that they play if it weren't for their friends. I know that's one of the biggest reasons that I continue to play on top of the being necessary for work now. But two of my best friends, one's in Pittsburgh, one's in Washington, D.C. And I play with them 2 or 3 times a week just so we can stay connected and catch up with each other and see how our weeks are doing, check in with each other. And so absolutely looking for that next level of community. And in terms of helping people realize that as well, I was laughing to myself. Even Dr. Phil has engaged in esports. He put a bunch of women on screen through his virtual show, and they all played a card game against each other on national television. And I was like, these people don't even realize it, but they're engaging in esports. I was like, Dr. Phil is hosting an esports competition right now, and he doesn't even know it. And so, absolutely, it's new way to connect with each other. And if people weren't a believer in it before, they definitely are now.
What is it, though, in a deep sense? What is it about games themselves that brings out the camaraderie in each other?
Absolutely. I mean, just in terms of games in general, I definitely think it's that escape, right? We're able to put ourselves in situations and into stories and entrench ourselves into something that allows us to escape what might be going around us at that given place or time. But in terms of the camaraderie, then that's when it becomes a shared experience. You're not just playing this by yourself. You're participating in that storytelling. You're participating in that experience with other people. And so that's what builds that camaraderie, that trust within games. You have to be able to trust each other to make the right decisions or to know what you're going to be doing within the match. And so that's where that camaraderie piece comes in, is that sure, it's a story, it's a way to escape, but then it turns into a shared experience that you're having to then also accomplish a goal, accomplish an objective, complete the story. You have that fulfillment at the end of it that really brings the people together.
Yeah, I also think that it kind of narrows down our intention and attention we just kind of melt away whatever kind of problems that we have in the world, and we just kind of become present in that moment.
Absolutely. The focus, as you're saying, the distractions are no longer around you. I mean, how often are you at dinner with people and they're on their phones, or they're checking their phones, or they keep their phone face down because they think they're being polite that way.
Right.
And there's so many distractions around us in today's world, in a personal setting, in a work setting, or just even going out to eat anymore. Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have that. You're gonna be much more focused in that game setting because. As many people know, you can't miss more than a second within these games, or something's probably going to go wrong, regardless of what game you're playing.
But most importantly, it's all fun.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all fun. I mean, the games at the competitive level can certainly get much more serious. Sometimes there's some things on the line, as we're seeing with all these world championships and the prize pools that are involved. But just like traditional sports, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game, and it's just another way to escape and have fun with your friends, and then provide opportunities around it as well. For me, that's the most fun about this, is to be able to support students that have necessarily not felt this support before through esports, because they chose the game instead of go to the gym or do traditional sports or something. And then be able to celebrate them at the college level and have them represent their university and be proud of that. As you see behind me, we have a player mural with all of our players on the wall. So we want them to be celebrated in our arena. We want them to be proud of representing our program. And so for me, that's the most fun about this opportunity.
Esports is early enough that people can take advantage of it. And we have to showcase that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for the growth of esports, and I can't wait until it is much more common at colleges and even high schools, now that we're seeing more high school leagues. But it is a fantastic opportunity to kind of be ahead of the wave as more and more schools are catching the wave.